What's going on, world? It's your homie Sensei Rip, and I'm back again with another video. Listen, y'all, 50 Cent doesn't miss anything. Okay, recently, Benzino was on the Ghetto Report podcast. Okay, and in this interview, Benzino was asked about him telling. Okay, the interviewer pulled out paperwork and everything. Of course, Benzino and his response to the paperwork is hilarious. But again, moments ago, 50 Cent, he reacted to this clip of Benzino asking the interviewer, pull out the paperwork. Okay, now, before we get into 50's reaction, let's check out this clip with Benzino on the Ghetto Report podcast. Again, if you want to see this full interview of Benzino on the Ghetto Report podcast, I'll make sure to leave the link in the description. But yeah, like I said, appreciate each and every one of y'all. Make sure to like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Also hit that notification bell so you can get the latest uploads as soon as they hit the channel. All right, again, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. But yeah, let's get right into this clip.
You said, I just remember being shot by your client. You know, almost being killed by your client. That's what I remember.
If you think that's the, go get my paperwork.
This is your paperwork.
No. I'm saying,
This is
I'm saying, hold on. But that's from the recordings, right?
No.
The recordings.
No.
From what?
This is from the court date, the trial.
Right.
I got the whole.
Right. No. But a lot of that is from recordings, and then you have to look at to see which one is the stand and which one was the recordings. They are basing. See, this is where the recordings come in, and they're basing everything. His defense is basing everything on what I said from the recordings. We knew they're going to do that. That's all. That's the recordings. That's not me saying it on the stand.
This is
I'm telling you.
Okay, so you read it. This is.
No.
It was at one point, you said, I just remember being shot by your client. You know, almost being killed by your client. That's what I remember.
If you think that's the, go get my paperwork.
This is your paperwork.
No. I'm saying, hold on. But that's from the recordings, right?
No.
The recordings.
No.
From what?
This is from the court date, the trial.
Right.
I got the whole.
Right. No. But a lot of that is from recordings, and then you have to look at to see which one is the stand and which one was the recordings. They are basing. See, this is where the recordings come in, and they're basing everything. His defense is basing everything on what I said from the recordings. We knew they're going to do that. That's all. That's the recordings. That's not me saying it on the stand. This is telling you.
Okay, so you read it. This is.
No.
All right, y'all. That was Benzino on the Ghetto Report podcast. Again, if you want to see this full interview, I'll make sure to leave the link in the description. But of course, moments ago, 50 Cent, he gave his reaction to Benzino in this clip on Ghetto Report podcast. And 50 Cent's reaction, he says, you want me to believe Omar was a stoolie because Sosa said so? Yes. If I say he ain't right, he ain't right. Okay, now the comments in this post is hilarious. You got my man over here, Alan Strong. He talking about the recordings are part of your paperwork. You snitch, okay? Now, again, like I said, we understand Benzino, his beef with Eminem. 50 is, he with Aftermath. He with him. So there's a lot of history when it comes to 50 and Benzino. Of course, Benzino was there during the time 50 had his brawl with Murder, Inc. Like I said, it's a lot of hip-hop history for the youngins who may not know. But 50, he doesn't miss anything. And if I'm not mistaken, Benzino actually spoke on the Big Meat situation. So, like I said, I think 50 throughout the week, he just, makes notes of everything, put the receipts to the side, and he just come back. You know what I mean? Whenever it's time to hit that, that algorithm, make that post. Because at the end of the day, this is a promo for 50 and whatever he's got going on. So this is why it's not a wise move to beef with 50 because, come on, he'll make a documentary out your ass. Then you're really upset. We saying what he doing with Diddy now. I mean, come on. And then turn around and say, well, he being set up. Like 50's wild, man. 50 is wild. But like I said, Benzino, I'm curious to know what's going on with Zeno. I know he does a lot of interviews right now, but normally you'll see little clips of Benzino spazzing out in interviews. You know what I mean? Normally they always asking him about Eminem and their beef. like I said, man, rap is in today's world, they doing everything they can, you know what I mean, to make sure the bills is paid, food on the table. And Benzino, every now and then, he'll sit here and, go live, say some things to get people to react to it. You know what I mean? But this right here, him asking to get the paperwork in the interview is like, yo, this is your paperwork. Like I said, man, this shit is hilarious. Again, Benzino, he wanted to box 50 Cent. That in itself, let me see if I can pull that video. That's funny. Him throwing the little arms. So like I said, this back and forth, Benzino and 50, they've been going back and forth for some years now, and it makes sense. We understand. But like I said, man, Benzino right now, you tripping, homie. Homie done broke out the paperwork, and he talking about, nah, that's the recordings. Listen, homie. You might want to make sure you got everything in order before you do these platforms, man. Come on. I don't understand why people don't realize that everything is public information, man. Everything. Even when they put out, 50 was a rat. Remember Ja Rule just did it about a month ago, said that 50 was ratting in the paperwork. I mean, all of this stuff has already been released to the public, just to find out that's not the case. But again, we're talking about narratives. And 50, he's one of the people that once he create that perception about you, now everybody looking at you crazy. You know what I mean? And when it comes to Benzino, every time this man is seen or his name makes the headlines, 50 Cent is right there clowning him. You know what I mean? Right now is no different. But like I said, 50 and Benzino, that's funny. That's hilarious. Benzino wanted to fight this man so bad, celebrity boxing, but no one stepped up. You know what I mean? No one stepped up. Because remember, Cam and Jim, you know what I mean? Jim wanted to box Cam for 10 mil. Nobody wanted to see that. However, Benzino, he over there with the celebrity boxing team. That's a whole group. We already know how they give it up. They're trying to find situations where, artists are boxing athletes. It's, like I said, it's a cold game out here. Everybody trying to pay their bills, put food on the table. But Benzino, man, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. You get what I mean? I haven't heard no new music from him in a long time, so I don't know. But like I said, initially he wanted to box 50 Cent, and 50 laughed at him, man. He seen him throw them short arms. He up there swinging like a damn T-Rex. But yeah, man, this is the latest on 50 Cent reacting to Benzino on his Ghetto Report podcast interview. Again, as you seen in the clip, Benzino was fumbling, man. Homie said, go get the paperwork. He said, look, this is your paperwork. You read it. Like I said, man, y'all let me know, what are your thoughts on this back and forth with 50 Cent and Benzino? Do you think that's a good idea for 50 Cent and Benzino to box? You know what I mean? A celebrity boxing match. Do you think that's what the people want to see? Or would they prefer, maybe 50 and Ja Rule, considering Ja Rule in shape as well? So, like I said, I understand this is all entertainment. 50, he does it for promo, man. He got a lot of things going on when it comes to him and his brand. So, of course, moments like this is just a way for him to promote 50 Cent action and the rest of the, you know what I mean, movements he got going as of right now. And when it comes to Benzino, like I said, I think he's just doing paid interviews, and now he got to make sure he got everything in order, because now, like I said, how many times are people going to book you and ask you about Eminem? That's the thing about these interviews now. People are spending their money to ask you the same questions. You know what I mean? Regurgitate the same questions and hear the same answers we've heard over many years. You get what I mean? So now people doing their homework. They like, you know what? Grab that paperwork real quick. Let me see if homie really told. That's hilarious. But again, if y'all want to see that full interview, I'll make sure to leave the link in the description. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all today. With that being said, my name is Sensei Rip. Till next time, peace. Benzino, you's a wild boy, man. You's wild. Cut it out, man. That was your paperwork. Why you want to read the paperwork? We know why, man. All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace. Salute world, I need y'all to do me a favor right quick and tap into the homie Grand Finale's latest video titled Sidelines. Okay, the full video is available on his YouTube channel. However, I'm about to bless y'all with a quick teaser. Okay, if you like what you hear, make sure to head on over to his channel and leave a comment. All right, and make sure to tell him that Rip sent you. Okay, run them numbers up. All right, y'all, I'm out. Peace.
Upon the world before you dearly depart.
Let the world go by. Just let the world go by. And it'll all be just fine.
Thank you for watching my video. If you like what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And also, hit that notification bell to get the latest on hip-hop, sports, comedy, whatever. All right, we got you covered over here at Forgotten Kings TV. And also, click on one of these videos, okay? All right, y'all.